Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a perfect professional record of 18 wins with no losses. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds, fighting out of Decatur, Illinois, Jason Reinhardt. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 14 wins with 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds, fighting out of Bridgewater, Massachusetts, Joe Lozon. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Kevin Mulhall.
Kevin Mulhall, our referee, as 38-year-old Jason Reinhardt makes his UFC debut on the same night that Edith works her first UFC event.
Powerful, Edith.
Powerful. Lozon, Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Reinhardt, Decatur, Illinois.
Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's fight!
And the wait is finally over.
I talked to Joe Lozon after the weigh-ins yesterday, and he said that Jason Reinhardt was saying that he wanted to stand and trade with him, but he said that he expected Reinhardt to throw a punch, fake it, and take him down immediately. Good clinch and knees by Joe Lozon. Joe Lozon looking sharp.
Now, Reinhardt is a very short and compact and very strong fighter and wrestler.
Lozon's got double underhooks here, pressing him up against the cage. Look at this. I've never seen this before, where guys have dropped down to their knees while both facing each other.
Lozon gets the takedown quickly. He's in half guard. Lozon trying to overwhelm Reinhardt.
You hear BJ Penn in his corner yelling out, "Breathe, Joe, breathe." They want him to concentrate and relax. He's passing that guard like butter. Look at that. Very nice. Side control, north-south position. There are many chokes available from this position if he can isolate that neck.
And he is very accustomed to hearing the sound of BJ Penn's voice in his corner because of the many fights in the Ultimate
He's got his
Fighter.
back. Oh,
This is about over.
That's a wrap.
It is.
He's going to sleep. He's out. Oh, no, he's not.
And it's all over. It is all over.
Wow.
How good was that?
It looked like his arm went limp there for a second, but he was all right. Joe Lozon looks very sharp. All that time spent training in Hilo, Hawaii is really paying dividends. Man, that was some nice technique right there. Joe Lozon looking great on the shoulders of his hero. Let's take a look at that again. Joe Lozon putting on a show. Look at this. Takes it right away. Over, under control. Bang. Sinks in that beautiful rear naked choke. Now, there looked like he was asleep.
Then he said, okay, then he tapped.
I thought he was thinking about going out. He might have been and just decided, you know what? There's no point in this. Let's take a look at this again in real time. He's got north-south position, and in this scramble, bang, immediate over-under. Goes right to the choke, sinks it in instantly. Joe Lozon looking sharp.
Joe Lozon with perfect technique. You know, with every time we see Lozon inside the octagon, it seems less and less a shocker, if you will, that he was able to beat Jens Pulver, because this youngster is a true up-and-comer. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Kevin Mulhall has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 14 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke, Joe J-Lo Lozon.
Lozon is 3-0 in the UFC. How good was that performance turned in by Lozon? Reinhardt defeated for the first time in his mixed martial arts career. Here's Joe.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Joe Lozon. Joe, really showing some significant improvement since you moved to Hawaii and been training with BJ Penn. You look sharp tonight, man.
You know, I felt good. Felt good. A lot of new tricks.
Your first fight ever where you get a chance to train full-time, no work, no school. How much of a difference is that?
It makes a huge difference. You know, rather than trying to cram, 8 hours of training to 3 or 4, I can split it up, do it the right way.
Well, take a look at the results. Talk us through the Mickey's replay. Beautiful rear naked choke here.
I was trying to split him with an elbow there, right through the middle. He turned up. I just took the back, tried his arm trapped, crossed my legs, end of story.
Let's take one more look at it here. Just too good to not see twice.
Tried to drop an elbow there, missed, spun, took his back. We were actually talking about it in the back that if I got on top, we thought he'd come up to his knees and work just like that.
Well, congratulations on your victory. You got a very promising future here. We look forward to seeing you again. Joe Lauzon, ladies and gentlemen.
Joe Lauzon from the Ultimate Fighter 5. Well, Joe Silva has another problem at 155. Here's another up-and-comer, and now training with BJ Penn, as we mentioned. He is truly becoming one of the best in the world in the lightweight division. UFC 78 Validation has been brought to you by Nox CG3, the ultimate workout formula, powered by Zyance. By Toyo Tires, the official tire of the UFC. Toyo Tires, driven to perform. And by the Ultimate Fighter 4 on DVD. Get it now at FYE stores nationwide or at FYE.com. Joe, take a look at our submission of the night, brought to you by Tap Out.
Submission tonight, Gono catches a very interesting armbar on Tandem McQuarrie, and McQuarrie turned completely backwards and forced to submit. And you see this, like, very unusual armbar by Gono. Big mistake by McQuarrie. He left an arm out there in the transition. Gono grabbed it, and he wins submission of the night, although I must protest because I would have given it to Joe Lauzon.
Brought to you by Tap Out, same gear and clothing, different attitude and approach. Check us out at tapout.com. Tonight was a night about unbeaten fighters validating themselves. Frankie Edgar did it, and then in the two light heavyweight fights, Thiago Silva achieved that, as did Rashad Evans.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the Thiago Silva, Houston Alexander fight, we had a lot of questions about Houston Alexander. We got some answers. And the answer is he needs some work on his ground game. You know, and Thiago Silva, we got answers from him that he is for real. I'm not telling him nothing, dude. I hope he doesn't even see this tape. I hope he shuts it off before this part. But you know what? He's still a very promising fighter. He still is a vicious knockout striker, and he just needs to work with someone who can correct those deficits. You know, he's got a few holes in his game, and that's what Thiago Silva said coming in, and that's what he proved.
How about Rashad Evans in that victory over Michael Bisping?
You know, Rashad looked good, but Rashad looked also very, very winded. You know, it could have been overtraining. It could have been that perhaps he overestimated or underestimated, rather, Michael Bisping. But either way, it was a good performance by two top contenders in the light heavyweight division, and I think it was a great fight.
Great to be back in New Jersey for the first time in 6 years, but there is still lots to come in 2008. And don't forget, here's what's coming up inside the Octagon. The competition continues. The Ultimate Fighter, Team Hughes versus Team Serra, Wednesdays at 10 p.m. on Spike. Then it's the finale of The Ultimate Fighter, Saturday, December 8th, from the Pearl at the Palms in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll find out who the next Ultimate Fighter will be. And in our main event that night, Roger Huerta meets Clay Guida. The Ultimate Fighter finale, only on Spike. And then just 3 weeks later, the coaches collide at UFC 79. It's the welterweight title fight between Matt Serra and Matt Hughes. And in the light heavyweight division, the Iceman Chuck Liddell will finally face the Axe Murderer, Vanderlei Silva. UFC 79, December 29th. Tickets are still available at UFC.com, Ticketmaster.com, and the Mandalay Bay box office. And don't forget, for all the post-fight reaction and unseen preliminary action from tonight, log on right now here at UFC.com. Great to be here for a little validation in the beautiful Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. The executive producers of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, Frank Fertitta III, Lorenzo Fertitta, and UFC President Dana White. Our supervising producer is Craig Borsari. Producer Bruce Connell. And a happy birthday to our director, Anthony Pasquale Giordano. Our director of production is Tim O'Toole, technical producer Alan Connell, and as always, our VP of Talent Relations, the best in the business, Joe Silva. A nasty cut to the eye of Joe Dirksen means that Ed Herman is a victor for the third consecutive fight. Edith made her debut along with Ariane, and so did that man, Rio Chonin, taking on the Heat, Karo Parisian. And although Karo was apologetic, he was victorious. And at the end of the day, that is what matters the most as Parisian hopes to get his long-awaited title shot somewhere down the road. Thiago Silva, Houston Alexander. Thiago Silva got the mount, and he knocked Alexander out, and he remains unbeaten in his mixed martial arts career. And then, in our main event of the evening, a little history as Ultimate Fighter winners collided. Bisping and Evans. Split decision goes the way of Sugar Rashad Evans. For all of us here at SUPA, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, Mike Goldberg saying so long, everybody.